a catchweight contest over 6 5-minute rounds with the first fall, the first submission, or the first KO to decide the winner. Introducing, in the red corner, Terry Rudge. And in the blue corner, Marty Jones. And your referee, Brian Crabtree.
I don't know why Martin Conroy, the MC, left that out when he introduced Marty Jones, but he's just taken his belt off. And of course, if you remember, also on television a few weeks back, on a Saturday afternoon, he won the light heavyweight championship of Great Britain over Mark Rocco for the vacant title. So, Marty Jones of Chatterton, Manchester, at 13 stone 8 on the left there. The holder of the light heavyweight title of Great Britain. His opponent, Terry Rudge, the heavyweight from Dunstable, Bedfordshire, at 15 stone 4. 6 5-minute rounds, 1 fall to decide, and it's the taller boy with the hair on the right, Marty Jones, the shaven head of Terry Rudge. And incidentally, when we saw him last about 18 months ago, I think he's been abroad so much recently, he didn't shave his head then. But certainly a good distinguishing feature. Brian Crabtree, the ref. 1 fall decides this one, and still, after the last bout, Manus beefing on his way to the dressing room to everybody, to all and sundry, and had quite a long conversation with me, and he said, you saw Johnny Saint lie back on the canvas pretending he'd been hit, and you knew perfectly well from ringside here that I'd never touched him. Well, I must admit, it was very quick. If it was a punch there, I didn't spot it. So McManus may have a beef, but all we got to do is to see them fight again, haven't we, and watch closely, maybe with 2 referees next time. So the champion Marty Jones there at 13-8, giving away very nearly to 1 stone 3/4 here to 15 stone 4 Terry Rudge. Be interesting to see whether Marty Jones, this great wrestler, can handle this very powerful man indeed, Terry Rudge. Real power there. See the speed which Terry Rudge gets those side headlocks on. But Marty Jones equaled his speed there, matched him for speed that time. Double wrist lever, backhand. Leg grab, toe and ankle now to Rudge. It's Rudge with the snazzy light colored boots. Actually yellow and black. Color. Nice switch, threw the legs away, went for the wrist lever, got it quickly.
No.
Still the toe ankle on to Rudge, really laying it on too. I don't know how Marty Jones, the canvas there, could resist turning with it. Countering instead, going for the Rudge left hand. Didn't work. Still the toe hold to Rudge. Rudge finally deciding he can get no further with that move. Decides to release. backhand now, Jones. Just 1 minute to go in the first. Oh, nice inside leg hank, and the arm lever is there, right against the joint with it. This could be a submission to Jones in the first round. He only needs one. But no, Rudge, too powerful for him. Fairly neat counter. Unorthodox, but neat. Terry Rudge felt that shoulder, though. Thirty seconds to go. 5 seconds. Well, we haven't seen Terry Rudge for quite some time on television, about a year or two, 18 months at least. Because he's been touring the world. He's been to Africa, all over Europe on a couple of occasions, fairly recently to Japan, where he stayed 6 months, and since then he was out in Korea. The most interesting thing that I think that happened to him in Korea was when he took on Antonio Inoki, the famous Japanese heavyweight wrestler you probably saw take on Muhammad Ali in a boxing wrestling match, and forced a draw.
Second away, round 2.
5 rounds to go. Just one fall decides this bout. Rudge versus Jones. Jones with a white knee bandage. Very heavily protected in front there, the padding in front. A couple of men with power, all the different weights. One the light heavyweight, one the heavyweight. Both very powerful indeed. And Jones has a height advantage along with that. I don't think that Brian Crabtree, the referee, will have too much trouble with this bout. Not like he had with the last, till the end of the last anyway. Forcing the backhammer, forcing his man down, but face down rather than back down, which he wanted.
No, ref, no.
And a perfect wrestler's bridge there. Rudge came right up on his head. A lot of power wrestling going on just to get position here. Interlock fingers and an arm lock. Rudge walked right into it. There's that arm very secure there at the moment. And even a left front. Marty Jones, of course, very unlikely to get a submission from this, and he can't get a fall without getting his man back to canvas. So he may release the arm lock eventually. Trying to go into it now, caught again. Into the ropes, Jones releases on contact, which every wrestler, of course, should do, but not too many of them do. Toe and ankle again. Still got the toe hold on. Just a couple of minutes left in this second round. very keen on those, but the Jones right foot got him off that time.
4, 5, 6, 7, right. All right. Right.
Just under a minute to go in the second. Double interlock. Rudge the advantage. Good bridge again by Terry Rudge. Really hot at this restless bridge. And he takes the man's weight on it as well. It's 13 stone 8 of him. 25 seconds to go in the second, and still the restless bridge there. Double interlock there, but Jones making very little impression. Rudge trying to get out from it. He's got 12 seconds. Oh yes, nicely over the top. About 3 seconds to go. He's just running the bell. There's Marty Jones, one of the really, truly greats of the wrestling ring. Certainly as he's proved in the light heavyweight division, because he's got the title, the British belt. The title became vacant, and he fought for it, along with many others. And he's the winner at the moment. But he'll have to defend it a few times before very many months are gone, that's for sure. Marty Jones from Manchester.
Take it away, round 3.
As we start round 3 with 4 rounds to go, and remember, just one fall decides this contest. Marty Jones with the knee bandage on the left, the stripe down the side of his trunks. Full Nelson on heavyweight Terry Rudge. Quick on those leg grabs. He too quick. Oh, but a lovely spin out by Rudge. Very, very good for a heavyweight to produce it that fast. I'm sure Terry Rudge is having a great deal more trouble with this fellow than he thought he would. Tremendous power in this guy. Uppercut forearm. Got the big man down there, all right. But he's up very quickly. Always going for that left foot of Jones. And a single leg Boston, if he gets his right leg over the top. Hasn't got the balance yet. Trying for the single leg Boston, Rudge. Again, he's trying for it, but again he can't get that right leg over. It's a folded leg rather than a single leg Boston, really. He won't get the full Boston out of it. Not from this angle. And it's a side head chancery reached for successfully by Marty Jones. Quick throw from it, but the chancery is still on.
No, referee.
Rudge making sure the ref doesn't start counting him out. His shoulder blades are not down, he says. Full Nelson. Butted Get out of that one, okay. Goes again for the left foot. Nearly all his attacks, Rudge, have been on the Marty Jones left foot. And the monkey climb came through it. A couple of minutes to go in the third. That's a good body check. And Rudge going in a bit very fast there, but the ropes intervene again. How quickly they both break when they do. Again, Marty Jones going for the side head chance and getting it. So Rudge up but in the corner, still can't get really clear. Just 1 minute to go in the third. Not really a grub, more a front head chancery. Back to the left foot. Double-headed toe hold. Real favourite of Rudge's there. There's the figure four leg lock to Rudge, just holding on with the palm of his right hand. Now his body. 25 seconds to go. Neatly caught by Jones. Nice shoulder wrench, and there won't be time for Rudge to get up before the bell. Well, Terry Rudge really sweating a lot there. Most wrestlers who shave their heads shave them because they can get out of a hole like an arm lock more easily, or the head scissors. I asked Terry Rudge in the dressing room before the bout this afternoon just why he'd shaved his head since I last saw him. He was very honest. He said, because I've got so very little hair and nobody knows where it starts and where it finishes, which is pretty honest. But it also must do him a great deal of good from getting out of holes, side headlocks, etc.
Second away, round 4.
Round 4, 3 rounds to go. No score. 1 fall decides the bout. Terry Rudge, the heavyweight, versus, on the right there, versus the light heavyweight champion of Great Britain, Marty Jones. Jones is trying to come in hard here, but he's up against so much power. I think he'll need to stay away and use some distant moves, drop kicks, etc., to wear down this big fella who's so experienced. Terry Rudge, he's been a pro full-time since about 1968, and he's started an amateur at 13 years old, so very experienced man. Not that his opponent Marty Jones isn't. He's a tremendous amateur record as well. Side head chancery again, Jones, and a grapevine with it on the leg. Again, the side head chancery on. Rudge not clearing too easily, not escaping from the holds well enough. Now the crutch hold and slam, but the slam didn't come off because of the side head chancery, which is still there. Good body check, and it's Marty Jones that timed it better. Came off the ropes nice and fast. Followed it up quickly. Little chance of a pinfall from that position. He'll never hold Rudge's right arm down. It's completely free at the moment. Very loose headlock. That's tighter. There's the other for more power coming. One to the stomach, flat of the hand, the heel of the hand, and then an uppercut forearm, a beauty. And Jones in trouble from that. Will he make it? Yes, up at 9. Crutch hold and slam to Rudge, and doesn't bother to follow it. He was too late to follow it. Jones waiting for him with that drop kick. And it's Jones now countering beautifully with a side headlock. He's tried this before, and Rudge, right arm, still free. Well, there's the opportunity to use that shaven head to slide out of that side headlock. Just under 2 minutes to go in the 4th. Oh, nice backdrop. Took him really perfectly there, Rudge. Beautiful move. Jones, okay, though, up again. It's amazing what they get up from. Another posting. It's the big man, Terry Rudge, taking over. Seems to be dictating this from now. Tremendous power. Now, can he do a folding press finish? No, he's going to try the full Boston Crab. Marty Jones trying anything, slapping anything to try and avoid getting into the Boston. And he made it. And a folding press, but Rudge too far over the top, back into the ropes. 1 minute to go in the 4th. Oh, much too late. Rudge sent him a telegram there as to what he was going to do. Reached down very slowly for that leg grab. And Jones' right knee was certainly waiting for him. That's cross buttock. And the arm lever there as well as the side headlock this time. There's the arm levered, but unfortunately again for Jones, Rudge's right arm was free. "15 seconds. Good posting by Rudge, and I doubt if Marty Jones will be able to do much for the remainder of this round. Well, this boy Marty Jones, who turned pro at the age of 17 in 1972, January 72, turned pro as the undefeated British intermediate middleweight champion. And all kinds of titles he had. Remember that I've told you before, and I'm sure it can stand it again, that he was the British champion finalist at the age of 10, and he was beaten in that only by a 16-year-old, which is not bad stuff.
Take it away, round 5.
Round 5, 2 to go. 1 fall decides the bout. Therefore, of course, no score. Terry Rudge versus Marty Jones. It's Marty Jones with the stripes down the side of his trunks and the knee bandage. Back to us now. Jones has certainly stayed with the big man pretty well so far, but I don't know if he can do it for much longer. Rudge has shown such tremendous power. If he lands a couple of those forearms that he landed the last round, could have Jones in a lot of trouble. Again, Rudge tries for the Boston Crab, but Jones reaches with the slap. Trying to turn him over for Boston. Jones with his right arm right there and left, trying to prevent it. He's almost there. He's almost with the full Boston now. Can he crawl through the legs? Or force his man to lose balance? A little of both necessary. Yes, Rogers got him over the right way, but he's not got his own weight on top, which is essential now. The right leg must go over. There it is. And now the full Boston is in again. But again, Marty Jones got his arms underneath him, taking the pressure. Again, Marty Jones manages to crawl through and force his man back onto the ropes this time, and therefore he gets the break that he's been after. Oh, I bet Jones was glad to see Rudge fall into the ropes there.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Another good throw. Jones not landing well from it at all.
4, 5, 6.
Yes, Rudge starting to dictate this a bit with just pure power. A beautiful posting. Again, thinking of going for the Boston Crab. Very near the ropes, though. On the know by the second time. The ropes break, fortunately, for Jones. Again, Rudge tries it, and Rudge neatly thrown out by the legs of Marty Jones. Now it's just a question of what sort of landing he had. Yeah, he's okay. Back at 9, only just in time. A couple of minutes to go in the round 5, and Jones trying to press home his advantage from that fall outside the ring of his opponent. They're really tired now. Especially Jones, having twice been in the Boston Crab, once really properly. It's not to make anybody bad to play that. And it might be a third coming up if Rudge has his way. The other way around this time. Still the same result if he gets there. Cannot turn him. He's trying to get him into the ropes, I think, to him to fall into the ropes. Anything rather than going to the full Boston another time. He's got 1 minute, Rudge, to make this one count. Over. He's over, but very near the ropes indeed. And surely Marty Jones knows that. But he won't give. Just this one fall or submission is all Rudge wants. Roll through again. Oh, almost in it another time. He's got 25 seconds. He's not even going to try anymore. He can't get this man to submit from it, so he's going to think of something else. He doesn't know, of course, that there's so little time to go in this 5th round. Just about 12 seconds. 5 seconds. Another posting on the bell. Well, Rudge has been handing out a tremendous lot of punishment to Jones. There he is, Marty Jones. And he's been taking an awful lot from that Boston onwards, especially the one he was in for about a minute and a half there before he could get clear. Just the question is whether he can last out one more round. Mind you, I should think he'd probably be very happy, Marty Jones, if he can get a draw out of this and make it a 0-0 score here. He'd be quite happy against a man so much heavier than himself, very nearly 2 stone heavy.
Take it away, 6th and final round.
So for the final round 6. The shaven head of Terry Rudge, glistening with sweat under the television lights, waiting to use a little more power to get that Boston on again, maybe, or to kill this youngster off once and for all. Yes, that's what he's going to go out to do. Use all the strength at his command. And Marty Jones will have to be pretty full of guile. Oh, yes. Wow, that doesn't look such a good landing at all from Rudge, but he's okay. strong man like he probably doesn't even feel it. Nice back drop, but he got his feet down first. Just. Stopped the posting nicely, and Rudge, oh, he walked right into that knee. And Jones timed it beautifully. That knee came up dead right, and Rudge is very bit shaky now, very shaky. Trying to use all the power with those forearm uppercuts, but he really was shaky for a second then if Marty Jones could have followed better. That's done nicely. Over the top with cross press. Has Jones got the weight to hold? No, not quite. Just gets a counter one, and that's all. Well, the question is, can Marty Jones stay with it for another 3 or 4 minutes? Getting the butt to the stomach. Using that a lot now. Any power move, Rudge is going to try.
4, 5, 6, 7.
Backbreaker over the shoulder. If you can get him out there, it's just about there. And if Jones can slide down the back and get a double arm out of this, that's what he's after. Missed the double arm. Slid down all right, but he missed the double arm chance. Oh, quickly, flying tackle. Beauty over the top for a cross press. Not quite. Terry Rudge a little bit too strong for Marty Jones on those cross presses. Nice back drop, but this time Marty Jones holds on. Can he hold on for a double leg Nelson? He has, but he won't hold him from that. And the referee really separating them now, but with a smile on his face. It's all pretty sporty, this bout. Again, with a couple of minutes to go in this final round 6. And a cross press to the heavier man now, Terry Rudge. But he hasn't got the shoulder blades down.
Right, fair enough. Right, Right, off it.
Call to break, so break they must both. Both very tired now. Energy sapped completely on both corners. A minute and a half to go, and Rudge landed neatly on the apron of the ring there rather than going on the floor. Nice quick one, across press again by Jones, but no. Cannot hold the big man's shoulder blades down for a count of 3, which he must do, as he's very unlikely to get a submission from him. Just 1 minute left in this bout. Swinging forearm uppercut underneath the chin. Jones trying the same, and it landed pretty well too. And another one right across the jaw that time. Rudge being told to get back away from that corner. And the 30 seconds to go. Looks more like a draw between these two men every second. Yes, one of them can pull off some surprise, but not like that. Didn't give himself enough room. Rudge holding onto the arm there, and again the wrist. Still not clear, but 8 seconds. And again Rudge almost leaning on him. They're so tired. Right on the bell, and it's a draw with no score.
Having gained the pole, the result is a draw.
Terry's got something to say.
a real champion.
All right, everybody agrees. And thank you for those kind words, Terry Rudge. First time I've ever heard him speak through a microphone, but he's congratulating his lighter opponent. A good bout, a draw, no score.